Hey there, I'm really glad you're here with me again. Let me ask you something, just between us. Have you ever looked at yourself in the mirror and wondered, is mine too small? That question, quiet and uncomfortable, has crossed the minds of many men. But what if I told you that everything you think you know about size might be wrong? Today we're going to talk about a fear most men never voice, but quietly carry. We'll also explore what truly matters when it comes to pleasure, connection, and confidence. Yes, there's an average measurement, but the truth runs deeper than a number. So stay with me until the end, because this video might change the way you see yourself. And if this speaks to you, hit like, subscribe, and turn on the notifications. At some point in life, almost every man has looked in the mirror and quietly asked himself, am I too small? It's not the kind of thing we say out loud, but that silent doubt can slowly eat away at confidence and change how a man feels in his own skin. Most of the time, the fear doesn't come from reality, but from comparison with scenes in adult films, moments in locker rooms, or unrealistic body ideals that no one explained, but everyone somehow absorbed. The reality is, most men are completely within the normal range. Global studies show that the average length when fully aroused is about 13 centimeters, just over 5 inches. That means the majority of men are absolutely healthy and functional. But without this knowledge, many believe something's wrong. They compare themselves to exaggerated, staged images, and those comparisons leave emotional scars that run deep. What begins as a private insecurity can slowly take over how a man approaches intimacy and relationships. Some avoid being seen undressed. Others pull back from intimacy, fearing judgment. Many carry quiet anxiety into every sexual moment. And over time, that tension becomes performance pressure, and that pressure can lead to dysfunction. Not because the body has failed, but because the mind is overwhelmed. The real solution isn't found in risky procedures or miracle products. It starts with a new perspective, knowing what's truly normal, realizing that pleasure is about connection, not appearance, and rebuilding trust in your own body. Confidence, desire, and satisfaction don't come from numbers. They come from how grounded you feel, how present you are, and how open you are to real connection. Accepting your body as it is doesn't mean giving up, it means stepping into freedom. The moment you stop chasing fantasy and start honoring what's real, something shifts. You stop hiding, you stop doubting, and you start showing up with a quiet strength that no one can measure. Because real confidence doesn't ask for permission, it simply shows. Most men don't realize it, but stress can actually change how the body looks, including in intimate areas. When you're anxious, tense, or overwhelmed, your nervous system shifts into a state of survival. Blood flow is redirected toward vital organs and muscles, while circulation to less urgent areas decreases. The result? A temporary shrinkage that can be startling if you don't know what's happening. But this doesn't mean something is broken. It's your body doing exactly what it's designed to do. In moments of stress, even something as simple as a tough conversation or an anxious thought, the body redirects blood away from the lower regions to prepare for danger. That physical change can happen during the day, before intimacy, or even just from internal pressure, and it often leads men to think something is seriously wrong when it's just a temporary, reversible reaction. The real issue begins when that natural response is misread as a flaw. If you see this change and immediately feel shame or panic, your stress increases and the cycle continues. Over time, this pattern can lead to chronic anxiety about your appearance, fear of not performing, and eventually, emotional distance from intimacy. Your own body starts to feel like an enemy instead of a source of pleasure. Breaking that cycle doesn't require medication, it requires calm. The more you learn to regulate your nervous system, the more your body returns to its natural balance. Deep breathing, stretching, limiting screen time, and creating quiet routines all help. When your body feels safe again, blood flow normalizes, your confidence returns, and everything starts to feel like you again. Because the truth is, your body didn't change, your stress did. Learning to calm that internal response isn't just about intimacy, it's about healing the way you relate to yourself. When your nervous system relaxes, your body begins to trust you again. And in that trust, you rediscover something even better than performance: peace. In the endless race to measure up, many men focus so much on length that they miss something far more important: sensitivity and control. A larger size might look impressive at first, but if the arousal fades quickly or control is lost too soon, frustration takes over. What truly matters in intimacy isn't a number. It's how present and aware you are, both with yourself and with your partner. Intimacy isn't a performance. It's rhythm, connection, timing, and trust. A man who knows how to slow down, tune into his sensations, and manage his excitement offers something far more powerful than just size. That kind of control isn't luck, it comes from knowing your body and learning how to stay grounded, even under stimulation. And it starts not with effort, but with awareness. When this is ignored, many men fall into cycles of disappointment. They may finish too quickly, feel distant during moments of closeness, or struggle to stay focused because their mind is full of pressure. These aren't just physical setbacks, they reflect a deeper disconnection from self-confidence. And if not addressed, they can lead to a long-term fear of intimacy. But the tools to change that are simple and accessible. Pelvic floor exercises, mindful touch, and calming breath work can gradually rebuild control and enhance pleasure. These aren't tricks, they're evidence-based practices that help rewire your body's response. The more connected you are to your sensations, the more fulfilling each moment becomes, not just for you, but for your partner too. Because in the end, what makes a moment unforgettable isn't what you look like, it's what you make the other person feel. A man who brings calm, presence, and emotional depth creates intimacy no measurement can compete with. And once you realize that, size stops being the story. Connection is what truly counts. Without even noticing, many men carry the quiet weight of comparison every single day. In locker rooms, online, through social media or adult content, the male body is constantly being measured, even if no one says a word. You see another man's confidence, size, or build, and suddenly, a voice inside whispers, "I'm not enough." That voice doesn't need to be loud. It just settles in the body as tension, shame, and doubt. What makes this so harmful is how invisible it is. Nobody talks about it, yet it shapes how you walk into a room, how you engage in intimacy, and how you see yourself. Over time, that silent comparison becomes a story you believe, that you need to be more, look different, or prove something. That pressure can create fear of rejection, emotional shutdown, or even avoidance of intimacy altogether. And the body feels all of it. Men who live in this constant comparison often experience tightness in the lower body, a lack of arousal, or even involuntary shrinking during moments of stress. Not because there's anything wrong, but because the nervous system is on edge. The body retreats, not from failure, but from the weight of judgment. The healing begins when you stop chasing an illusion. That means stepping away from unrealistic content, letting go of fantasy-driven expectations, and starting to observe your body with curiosity instead of criticism. When you look at yourself with neutrality, not shame, not ego, you create room to reconnect with your real, grounded masculinity. And when you stop comparing, you start returning to yourself. Because your worth has never been tied to someone else's shadow. Confidence doesn't come from being the biggest or the best, it comes from being present, real, and unafraid to be seen as you are. That presence, quiet, steady, and rooted in self-respect, is what makes you powerful beyond measure. When it comes to lasting satisfaction, size is one of the least important factors. What truly supports desire, performance, and pleasure over time is overall health, especially things like blood circulation, hormone balance, energy levels, and emotional stability. Arousal isn't just about stimulation, it's about how well your body functions. And the good news? That's something you can improve, no matter your anatomy. Many men over 50 assume that changes in sexual function are just part of getting older. But more often, it's not age, it's lifestyle. Poor sleep, chronic stress, lack of movement, processed food, and digital overload can all disrupt the systems that fuel your vitality. If your body is busy fighting fatigue or inflammation, it can't prioritize intimacy. And when that inner spark fades, confidence often goes with it. So if things aren't working the way they used to, it's not just about the bedroom, it's about the whole system. And while quick fixes might offer a temporary boost, they don't address the root. What does? Daily walks, deep sleep, nutrient-dense food, strength training, reducing stress. These aren't trends, they're habits that reignite the natural rhythm of your body and mind. You don't need to change everything overnight. Even small steps, drinking more water, sleeping earlier, taking a breath before meals, can begin to shift how you feel. As your body feels safer and stronger, desire comes back. Confidence builds, not because something looks different, but because you feel more like yourself again. Because in the end, a satisfying intimate life isn't about chasing perfection, it's about showing up with presence. It's about how you care for your health, how you connect with your partner, and how you carry your masculinity with quiet strength. When your body is supported from the inside out, the question of size fades, and real connection takes its place. For most of their lives, men are told, directly or indirectly, that their worth is tied to their size. That belief creeps in early, and for many, it never leaves. But what you've seen in this video is the deeper truth. That size is not the measure of your masculinity, your pleasure, or your power. What truly matters is how you care for your body, how you connect with others, and how you show up with presence and confidence. If you've made it this far, it means you're not looking for superficial answers. You're looking for real change. And that begins with letting go of shame, learning how your body really works, and giving yourself the respect you deserve. You don't need to prove anything. You just need to reclaim what's already yours. If this video resonated with you, leave a comment, give it a like, and subscribe to the channel. You're not alone, and your path forward starts now.